Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Cheryl Milder Unfiltered Real Talk. I have a question of the day. Have you guys ever had an hostile environment at work to the point that you wanted to blow up on your coworker because he or she was out of line and stick her nose or his nose into your business when they shouldn't be? They should just stay in their lane. Well, that happened to me when I returned back to work on my vacation. I had a lovely vacation. It was just peaceful. It was just lovely. It was just awesome. Until I walked into the office and things got changed. Like, for example, my workstation, everything got rearranged to my phones, to my computer monitors, to my tray. Everything was moved and rearranged. And I'm like, that's incredibly rude. You know what I mean? I've been gone for a week. I have not been gone for 2 months. I don't think anyone should be moving my belongings without asking me. That's first of all. I asked my coworkers what happened. They're like dumb that just said they don't know, they didn't notice anything, they didn't notice anyone sat on my desk. And I'm like, how do you not notice? Like, our if you would have seen my office, our office space, it's not that far. You know what I mean? Like, there's my coworker and there's me. Like, we're like completely walking distance. How do you not notice if someone was sitting at my desk unless you're completely like lost, that you were so focused on your job or on your phone that you didn't really notice or pay attention? Whatever. I let that go. I'm like, whatever. What really, really struck me to the core and what really upsetted me, that one of my coworkers stuck her nose into my business when I was talking to my boss, when she should have just shut her mouth and kept her mouth shut. She was just completely rude and disrespectful and out of line. And can I tell you, I wanted to slap the girl. Okay, I really did, because it's not the first time she was disrespectful towards me. This was the fourth time, and I had enough. Those other times in the past that she was rude and disrespectful towards me, I let it go. I was the bigger person. I let it go. I didn't want to have hatred in my heart because I'm Christian. I just let it go and didn't say one word to her. I didn't even confront her or anything. But what happened on Tuesday when she spoke to me the way she speak to me, I'm like, no, that's when I draw the line. I saw red. I really wanted to get up and punch that girl in the face. I'm sorry, I don't get violent, I don't get physical with anyone, but that's how I felt at that moment, that I just wanted to punch her in the face because she was just so rude, disrespectful, cutting me off. I couldn't even get a word in. I couldn't even get my thoughts in because I was just trying to explain to my boss the situation, and then she was just sticking her nose into my conversation with her when she had nothing to do what we were talking about. She was not in the office when the doors was closed, what we were discussing, and she had to put her 2 cents in. So anyone that knows me, like my good friends, they know when I'm pissed, I am pissed. And it's hard to calm me down unless I'm doing prayer and or my best friend's praying over me for me to calm myself down. And I'm a type of person, I don't like to have hatred in my heart, but you have to understand the situation with this coworker. She kept poking the bear with me, and I let it go. I let it slide. But when she kept poking that day, yesterday, that's when the dragon in me released, and I flipped the F out. I really did. To the point that I pulled my boss aside and told her what happened was disrespectful and unprofessional, and I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to allow this little girl being disrespectful and talking to me any kind of way. That's unacceptable, and I'm not having it. That's what I told my boss. I said, first of all, I want her to stay away from me. Second of all, there's no communication between me and her. If she has anything to say to me, it needs to go through email, because I'm not going to tolerate the disrespect. And then my boss said, oh, we all work together. We all have to be respectful and kind. I get that. Respectful, kind, be cordial. I did all that. After the fact that she was rude to me and disrespectful to me towards the past, I let it go. I told my boss that. But today, what happened yesterday, that's when I drew the line and said, enough is enough. I'm not dealing with her anymore. I don't want to deal with her anymore. She needs to stay away from me. She needs to stay in her lane and I stand in mine, and that's it. And that's what I told my boss. I'm like, I'm done with this. And then my boss says she's going to have a talk with her, blah, blah, blah. I think that's full of bullshit. I don't think she's going to have a talk with her. That's just my opinion. She's not going to talk to her. All I know is that I don't want to deal with none of my coworkers because they're the most, not selfish, I'm going to use another word. They're the most complaining people I ever met in my whole entire life. All three of them. They all complain about things about their job. They couldn't handle it, or it's too much, it's too this. And I'm like saying to myself, if you can't handle it, if it's too much for you, go to sleep or quit. No one's not forcing you to stay at a job that you can't handle. I give you an example. I was gone for a week. I came back from vacation. All my stuff was done. All my tasks was completed because I know how to multitask. I know how to take care of things. I know how to make things happen and get things done. No question asked and no complaints. That's how you do it. And these three ladies, they're so freaking lazy. No, let me scratch it. They're not lazy. They can't handle the pressure. That's what it is. They can't handle it because all they do is just jibble, talk, instead of doing the work. But I'm off track right now. Basically, the bottom line, it got escalated to the point that my boss had to like shut it down because the main person of the company was coming in, and my boss didn't want the other woman to see that me and my coworker were going back and forth. The whole point was I didn't get my point across because she just kept cutting me off and not letting me finish my sentences and explain to her the situation, why I couldn't do Wednesday. Like, to her point was like I was just being unreasonable and I was being not a team player. And I'm like saying to myself, I always been a team player. I always done what I'm supposed to do with no question asked, don't complain. Because I said that I cannot work a particular day because I have obligations. You're gonna fault me on that because I don't have coverage. You're gonna fault me on that. That's not my problem, okay? I come to work to do what I have to do and then bounce, leave, okay? That's not my problem if you can't handle this or you have coverage or you don't have coverage. I don't have coverage when I'm out sick. I don't. Luckily, my boss covered me when I was away on vacation. Other than that, I have no one to cover me when I'm out sick or on vacation. But the rest of my coworkers, they have coverage. They back each other up. They don't back me up if I'm away because they don't know my job. They don't know how to do it. So that was the whole point that I was trying to get across. But then my coworker cut me off, saying disrespectful things towards me. And I'm like, I don't know who you're dealing with, little girl. You're dealing with the wrong person because I am not the one. I am not the one. And that's what I told my boss. All she have to do is stay away from me if she knows what's best for her. Because I'm telling you, I really wanted to punch that girl in the face. And I don't condone violence at all. I really don't. But what I felt yesterday, that's how it was just bad. It was bad to the point that I was so angry and so upset that I had to speak to my best friend so she can calm me down. I had to take a step back and like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe like two of my coworkers just basically attacked me out of left field, and the whole conversation I was having with my boss, not with them. Like, why they're interfering, why they're butting in. Like, they should just mind their business and continue to work. But no, they had to insert themselves into my conversation. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's not right. So what I did was I documented everything because knowing me, I like to have a paper trail because I don't trust anyone, especially at that job, because my boss can say she's going to talk to them. I don't know that. I don't know if she's going to reprimand them. I have no idea. So to protect myself, I document everything. So my advice to you, if you're ever going through that situation with anyone, always have documentation of the incident, of what happened. So you have proof for your records. You know what I mean? I don't have an HR department. God forbid something else happened, I can go somewhat higher up, but there's no HR in my department where I work. But always document something so you have some proof that this incident happened on this day, this time, and everything. If you do have HR, do report it to your HR. If your boss is not going to handle the situation, always go higher up. Don't go behind your boss's back and and go to a higher up. Obviously talk to your boss, let your boss know, like, if this is not going to change, then unfortunately I have to go to the next higher up because I'm not dealing with this BS, you know? So I didn't tell that to my boss. I just made her know, like, I'm not dealing with this little girl anymore. She needs to stay in her lane. What she said to me was inappropriate. I did not like it. I did not like her tone. I did not like her disrespect, and I'm not tolerating it anymore. Enough is enough. Now, as a Christian, my duties is to forgive, which I did, because when I came to work, I let it go. I didn't say anything to anyone. I have to forgive. I will not forget, but I'm moving on to the point that I don't want to deal with none of my coworkers. I just want to go in, do my job, and keep it moving. And I made it very clear to my boss. I just want to be in peace. I don't want them around me, period. And let me know if you've been in that situation, and what did you do in that situation? Did you pop off on that person, or did you just walked away and said something to your boss? What did you do in that situation if you had a hostile environment at work and someone was just being disrespectful towards you? What would you do in that situation? Luckily, I didn't finish getting what I had to say because abruptly everything was just cut off. So I just feel like, for me, things were just unsettled because I didn't get to express, and let this girl know that she can't speak to me that way. I will not allow that anymore. That's unacceptable, and you've been warned. I couldn't say that to her. So basically I had to say to my boss so my boss can let her know, because I know how I am. If I would have said that, I probably would have got fired or written out, because I just know myself. Once I'm pissed, I am pissed. It takes a lot for me to calm down. It really does. And with the power of prayer and fasting, that helps. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. It did not help me yesterday at all. It didn't, because I was pissed off throughout the whole day until I left work. I really was. I was so pissed off. I was so angry that my boss can let that happen. You know what I mean? To me, to have two co-workers attack me like that for no apparent reason. You know what I mean? And I believe she didn't do anything. I believe she didn't say anything to those two. And that's sad. And that really makes me, is very upsetting to me, the point that I'm getting. And I just would like to know, have that ever happened to you? What did you do in that situation? And please comment, feel free to let me know how you feel, if that ever happened to you. And I would love to hear your comments. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening, me ramping on, and I just had to let it go and just tell you guys how I feel, because obviously there was no closure for me because I couldn't say anything to my coworker. But I'm happy that I'm just talking about it now and letting it go and just release it and moving on. But I did make it very clear to my boss that have that girl stay away from me, period. I don't want to deal with her. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to my YouTube channel, Cheryl Milder Unfiltered Real Talk. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this video. Please comment below. Please subscribe if you like the video. If you don't, it's okay. Hopefully you like the next video that I make or do, whatever the case is. But I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Love you all, and God bless. Bye.